Alright, if the mic starts fucking up, just someone let me know, please, so I don't keep talking to my fucking self. Alright, so we're gonna look at indices first, as always, and then we'll take a look at crypto. Because, like I've been saying the last couple days, if you see the top 500 US stock companies going down, everything's going down, it's just like it's unlikely uh, crypto is going to hold up against it, as well as any other risk on asset. Meme coins especially included. Like if I go to the Nvidia chart, like these people make graphic cards that are essential for AI. They're one of the biggest tech companies in the world. If that shit is going down, do not expect uh, other stuff to be going up right now. So, some of you guys have been hearing me talk about how this is actually extremely advantageous for us that are, all of us are active market participants. I know that even if you got caught off guard and you took a hit, consider that imagine if we could go back in time to when Sol was actually around $100. Um, what you could have capitalized off of this, what Trump is doing right now is kind of like almost like a reset. We've been kind of bullied by other countries. They've been able to come over here and just sell without having to pay us anything in return. So these tariffs, although in the short term cause extreme panic in the market, um, is actually going to be very, very good for us. And just to kind of draw a comparison, I want to show you guys the 2021 cycle for um, Bitcoin here. Uh, I honestly think that if Trump hadn't done what he would have done, that our bull market would have looked pretty much like this. Because evaluations are already so high. If I show you guys the stock market chart and I zoom out um, from its entire history, that's that's the history of the stock market right there. So these pullbacks, honestly, are you should be looking at them as gifts. If you didn't capitalize as well as you wanted to off of what we were already given, you're getting another shot here. Um, and this downside, this pullback could have been a lot more painful in the sense that time-wise, it could have looked something a lot more like this. We should be really happy that it's being accelerated. It's being done in a really quick fashion, almost like ripping off a giant fucking band-aid, because I won't lie, that drop was pretty insane. Um, but it really is just a really big band-aid. And for those of you who are my students, there really shouldn't be anything for you to worry about. We have a really, really strong candle close above this previous high, and while we've done that, we have created some internal range liquidity, which we only know happens when we get really big expansion moves. So for anyone that was expecting price to just continuously go up and up and up, price doesn't move like that. Price in a trending environment expands, retraces, expands, retraces, expands, right? And you can see that right here. Um, right? We expand, we pull back into an IRL, and then we move up. We expand, we pull back into an IRL, we send back. We expand, we pull back into an IRL, we expand. So please, please, please do not be part of the group of people that are thinking that that was it. Um, it's really not. It's honestly just the beginning. So going back to indices and what I'm waiting for personally. So for those that are my students, we know that we cannot reverse unless we hit some sort of major external range of liquidity or internal range liquidity. And so for me, the first area of interest is going to be all of these built up lows right here. Now, if you notice, we haven't really hit them yet. So that being said, I am going to be of the expectation that the market opens up lower, and that would actually bode better for us, because the next level of capitulation is not till a long way down. But to be honest, I really don't think that we pull back that much harder, because then it would start becoming along the lines of COVID in terms of like what kind of pullback we received at that time. So if we kind of go back here, this right here, or was it 2021? Yeah, essentially this entire pullback was a result of COVID, and there's no one dying. Well, not that I know of, as there's not some crazy disease going around. The fear mongering is to a much less degree. So for those of you that did get caught off guard, go back and look at and see what I was looking at. And one of the things that I was looking at is based off of the last 20 years of the stock market, March tends to be bearish and April tends to be bullish. Now, April doesn't look bullish right now, and I didn't expect it to. Again, for my students, we all know that if we're expecting a bullish month, that the monthly candle will look something like this. We open, we put a low, and then we make our high, and then we close, right? So, as of now, we have definitely started to make our low in an extremely aggressive manner. Um, so again, these are the target liquidities I'm looking at. Now, the weekend's still going. Market doesn't open up for another 4 hours, so that's another 4 hours. Sol can continue bleeding, and the first level that really gonna be recommending that people start throwing on some bids onto Sol is gonna be this 101. Yeah, pretty much for me it's 100 even. That's where I set my bids at. It's 100 big figure level. Also a good psychological level. Um, and yeah, if you average in, you get a good average of $100 Sol, and we do run this thing back. Even with no leverage, you're looking at almost pretty much a 3x. So, um, yeah, going back to NASDAQ and ES real quick, I had made a post in the beginning of March talking about how right now we're in the yearly PO3. And what do I mean by that? So if we look at the yearly candle, right, notice that, um, for example, this year, right, if we go back, notice that it has to print the low before it prints the high. And that's how bullish years form in most cases. They have to do that first. So remember that when we get these accumulations up here and then pullbacks, it's not a reversal, it's just simply a pullback. And so for the current yearly candle, um, oops, we're moving lower, right? And that's a good thing. So my entire thesis of this down move has pretty much essentially been this is consolidation, right? And for my students, we all know that we cannot reverse from a consolidation. Therefore, if this is not a reversal, then it must be a manipulation. And when we manipulate in price, we have to ask ourselves, what is the objective that we're manipulating to? And this is really where, you know, maybe I look at price differently than a lot of the other people that you'll see on crypto Twitter. They will see things like this as support. Like, oh, okay, we tapped once, we tapped twice, okay, so this is a good level to buy. For me, this is an area of interest for price to run out stop losses. Anyone that had really good longs and didn't take profits now are um, going to get taken out. And once they get taken out, once the sell stops get taken out, it's very characteristic of the market to then go for the opposite side, which is buy stops. So all of the shorters that caught this massive move will end up getting punished later on. So if this is accumulation and this is manipulation, then what should follow is expansion. And guys, anytime we've been in a bull market, I've been here since 2017. I can promise you, I've seen it so many times that anytime we're in a bull market and we get anything that's considered to be a somewhat of a severe pullback, everybody is in panic. Just how you see on Twitter, it's always so funny to see it. We've been bullish since the beginning. I mean, we've been bearish since the beginning of the month, and we've seen the different accounts on Twitter kind of flip back and forth, and not really be able to maintain a consistent bias. And so that's really the power in this, that you and I can look at this through a different lens, and instead of thinking to ourselves that the bull market is over and that's it, um, we can look at it as we have a really good opportunity here. Fear is high, there's blood in the markets, there's a lot of opportunity. Do not be one of the people that waits to see um, Soul skyrocket to be like, oh, okay, yeah, the bull market's back on. What's being done right now is very, very strategic. Remember, it's only the first year, and pretty much we're in the second quarter of the first year of Trump's term. And if you look back at when Trump was president, one of my favorite things about him is that he does things that are in the best interest of the stock market. And I saw that during his last term, and he executed that very well. So what we're seeing right now, bringing down evaluations, bringing down what it would cost to refinance the U.S. debt, not even just for the U.S., but actually for the people that live in the U.S., have over $500 trillion in debt, paying $5 trillion in interest every single year. So crashing the interest rates, essentially crashing how much it costs to borrow, is a really good thing in the medium to long term. And in the short term, yes, it does cause extreme fear in the markets, and it causes most investors to go into T-bonds, which are supposed to be much lower return but a lot safer. Um, so we know that from accumulation and manipulation, we can expect distribution. Now, all of these things that I'm talking about right now can be measured. And again, unfortunately, like if you're not my student, it might sound like technical jargon to you, and I'm gonna try and keep it as like layman term as I can. But essentially, this from 2 to 2.5 standard deviations. This is my retracement slash reversal area. So these lows being taken in this area is quite significant to me. Now, this low hasn't been taken yet, and this low hasn't been taken yet. So once they do, that's when we can say, or at least that's when I come to the markets and I say, all right, now I can do business. Now I've met my criteria has been met. And if you guys can, please mute your mics because there's a little bit of feedback. But yeah, so now what we do is we wait for these levels to be hit, and then um, we wait for price to kind of base out and kind of form that reversal pattern. Now, the fact that this all happened in such an aggressive manner, you can expect that when we get the buy side of the curve, because this is the sell side of the curve, and we'll have a buy side of the curve very similarly to like this, for example. We have a sell side of the curve and we have a buy side of the curve. And I haven't really shown this too much to my students, but I actually have somewhat of a method to be able to kind of roughly tell, uh, what time frame we're looking at in terms of being able to predict or anticipate how long um, we're going to be in for the ride. But I just want you to notice that there's a bit of a symmetry, so to speak, between the buy sides and sell sides of the curve, not only in price, but also in time. So if I mirror that sell side of the curve and the buy side of the curve, you can notice that roughly the same amount of time it took for us to send lower is around the same amount of time it took for us to send back up, right? So judging just from what we can see um, on the chart, so far this dump has pretty much taken us 105 days, which doesn't mean it's going to take us 105 days to reverse. All it means is that the way back up is going to be around 105 days, which is a good thing because then we can have a bias for an extended period of time, right? Just how on Sol, even though there were points within the month where Sol was actually moving up a little bit, our bias never changed, right? Because we knew that overall we were on the sell side of the curve, right? It's pretty obvious that this is the sell side of the curve. So when when we hit these key levels and then we start seeing the buy side of the curve to print, you will get multiple opportunities within the buy side of the curve to trade it back up into here. But you're not going to be able to do that if you're wasting all your ammo on low probability days and kind of trading when you shouldn't be. So 100 is going to be that first level that I'm bidding. 110 was already taken out. 110 is not a level that I was looking to bid. It was just a target I was looking for towards the downside. Max pain. Now, again, I'm still extremely skeptical of whether we can actually get this. But assuming that we do, it would be a pretty big no-brainer for me to bid that level with extreme confidence. So I do have some stink bids set here, and if you don't know what stink bids are, it's just bids that we don't fully expect to get filled on, but we put them there just in case we can get a really big aggressive move lower and get filled. But overall, once we hit that $100 level, that's when we should really start be paying attention for that buy side of the curve to start printing. So again, even if you're not my student, it's very easy to kind of see, the sell side. And then when we are printing the buy side, it will be easier the longer it transposes, more and more time goes on, you'll see this pattern start to play out, just like the one I showed you before. So don't try and pick tops and bottoms. Just don't do it. Especially if you don't have like an impressive amount of years trading and kind of understanding the markets. Just don't do it. Even I don't try to do that. I don't try to pick tops and bottoms and stuff like that. But right now, that 110 level is a place where we could reverse. A lot of my students already know this, but swing points are the origin of moves. So if we look at this swing point up here, if we would have saw this as a sweep, we could have very easily um, saved ourselves from being caught offside. Uh, and so expect the same thing somewhere around these lows, right? It's either this low and then it taps 100, um, or we come all the way down here, take out this low into that monthly gap, which I like this a lot better. I would much prefer to get a vast majority of my bids in here as opposed to 100. So I have money on the side for that exact scenario. So if you guys are being concerned about catching good entries on Sol, it's going to be from 100 to $68. If you can average if we're anywhere in that price range of 68 to $100, I think it's pretty safe. Me personally, like when we're in that range, it's going to be around like $1,000 a day for me that I'm going to be throwing into there because I don't care about sniping the bottom. I care about getting a super good average on the bottom, um, so that on the way back up, I can get a pretty nice chunk of change. And maybe if you're a smaller port, you could consider even taking some small leverage longs like 2 to 3x from those levels that I mentioned. But just remember, for when we are at 100, whenever we're in this price range, this entire range for me, from 100 down to 68, that's where I'm layering my bids. All of the best traders that I know, um, assumingly the ones that trade with size, they don't ever just pick one price point to enter on, especially not if you're trying to catch a swing. You have to layer in, you have to kind of give yourself a little bit of breathing room, right? Because tariffs are, in a way, an act of war, and I don't expect that he will ease up on it right away. So again, stay nimble. Do not try to catch the bottom. I can't tell you guys how many times I've seen on Twitter or Discord or wherever, like people that are trying to catch tops and bottoms that you have no business doing that. If you don't know where price is drawing to, you have no business doing that. Just ask someone who has the experience and mark it out on your chart and just pay attention for the next couple of days. So right now it doesn't look like there's literally no signs of a reversal. The first thing that could potentially change my mind, um, obviously I want to see how the reversal stuff happen on ES and NQ first, but seeing this daily gap right here be rejected at 135. If that were to get flipped, or actually, sorry, not that one, here, the one that I tried to save Rectober, bro. I really did. If that gets flipped right there, that would be a good sign to me that this 110 level was the liquidity that we needed to move back up. And I'm extremely confident that price will go back up, especially because we have equal highs here. And again, the students know that equal highs, super duper good draw on liquidity. So all of this right here is what I term or coin as low resistance liquidity. Now, I like seeing all of this build up on the side that I'm looking for price to move into, because all of this, right? All of these highs here are essentially short trader stop losses. And they'll get theirs too. The market has a really funny and interesting way of being able to fuck both sides and then take off. Believe me, I've been on both sides of that. So, like I said, guys, this is what the top 500, this is an index. This is not a stock that I'm looking at right now. This is the top 500. All right, whoever joined needs to mute because there's feedback. But um, yeah, these are the top 500 stocks in the US. So remember that this kind of should be your bellwether for risk on assets. If the ES and NQ aren't doing good, there's absolutely no reason to expect that crypto will have some form of relative strength or anything like that. So remember, we are about to come into an extremely advantageous time that it requires all of your attention. If I could take you back before Trump launched the coin and I told you to lock in, this would be the equivalent of that. Because pretty much what we just got was a reset on our bull run. Our bull run's gonna happen. It's a halving year. We finally got the BlackRock ETF application, which solidifies crypto is a real asset class now, especially to the boomers. It's just there's too many things aligning, and this reset is probably the best gift that you could have gotten. And if you don't take advantage of it, or if you're wasting all your money just on memes and you're kind of forgetting about the ultimate goal, which should be to, you know, stack up on USDC, Sol, and BTC, you're not going to be able to take advantage of what's about to happen, you know. And if you can look back at all of the things that I had told you were likely going to happen in the markets, and now I'm telling you to get ready because there's going to be an opposing run to this. It's never just a huge move down and no move up when it comes to stocks. I showed you guys what what the stock market chart looked like. It looks literally better than some of the fucking shitcoin runners back in the day. Um, so these pullbacks, historically speaking, always good for buying. And on Bitcoin right now, from the high to the low, it's only 30%. Only 30%. Consider this one, right? 55% pullback. Consider this one. 50, no, that one's not 55. 70% pullback. How about this one? 33% pullback. So from 55 to 30%, we kind of look back in the early bull runs, we expect the percentage to be higher, more volatile, and as we progress in the cycle, the pullback percentages start to kind of ease off. If this pullback was 33% and these moves look pretty identical or close to identical because they have this very clear trend, right? Um, there's no reason to be thinking that things are over yet. So I really do think that everything that's happening right now is in the best interest of the bull run, and I'm personally, I'm fucking excited, bro. Like that we get a reset. Like it, it, two things will either happen. Either the bull run will be longer because of it, or the bull run will actually be more aggressive because of it. So one of those two things will take place, and I'm fine with either. More time to have fun in the bull market, or more speed to get money quicker and have things pop off like how they were before. um, I really think is going to be awesome. And I think that we're all in a really, really good position group wise to do that together, because even if you're not good at technical analysis, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of people in here that don't know how to read a chart, yet they contribute just as much as me. So I really think that we have the team here to make the best of this next bull run, and you guys have me. You guys can always feel free to utilize me. You can ping me for a chart, whether it's a shitcoin, whether it's majors. If you need a plan, if you need advice, you have me. There's plenty of other people around. A lot of my students they're getting fucking good, so there's gonna be a lot of people in here to help out. Now, it's kind of like a bonus to this market update. I do think that Trump coin might be some crazy beta, because I'm just thinking about it, right? Like, obviously this chart looks fucking nasty. Um, but if Trump were to actually come through with what he's trying to accomplish and it actually did work, I wonder I wonder what kind of attention the Trump coin would get, considering that the bull market would be back. So this is one of the coins that I'm personally keeping an eye on, because the Trump coin is obviously it is listed on some exchanges. So doing like a small 2 to 3x leverage long, if we can get some structure breaks upwards and we get obviously ES and NQ and all risk on assets moving up again, I think that Trump can actually be a pretty insane banger. And from I'll take it from the candle body all-time high and not the wick. This thing is down 82%. And for meme coins, 80 to 90% retracements, as some of you know, is sometimes like the golden fucking retracement before things send higher. So I think that what we should do now as a team, not just me, we should really start eyeing those really, really uh, good memes that potentially will have that really good run up, maybe some AI stuff. I think this Trump coin one will be really good. Because right now everyone's just fucking clowning Trump, right? Everyone's making fun of him for the "Are you tired of winning?" speech and shit like that. I get it, it's funny. But when the markets rip back up, like, people are gonna be eating that shit. So that's what I think. That's what I'm looking at. In terms of stocks, I'm looking to get some Nvidia. I'm looking to pick up some Apple. Um, if you've got deep pockets, you shouldn't just be exposed to crypto, you should be getting some stocks too. It's not very often that we get pullbacks like this, especially in the stock market. Like I showed you guys, right? That's a 3 month chart and it just looks absolutely ridiculous. Um, and again, structure wise, nothing's been broken to say that this is over, right? This is just what I told you guys earlier. It's just how price moves, right? Pumps makes a retracement, pumps makes a retracement. And the retracement is honestly most of the time when I see crypto Twitter in this fucking huge big panic, it's always during the retracement. It's like rarely actually like over. I've seen it very little times where it's actually people are right. Um, it's just the retracement that gets people afraid. But when you know how price moves and you know how to look at a chart, you can see a clear trending environment. You know that structurally, as long as these lows aren't being violated, right, like this low right here, then overall we're getting higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? And that's the whole point of IRL is to find out where is the likely higher low going to be put. And so for max pain on Sol, I have that gap mapped out because I do think a higher low could potentially form in here, but I also think that it could form after taking this into the 100 level. So I'm going to make sure to keep you guys super updated because this week and next week particularly, this week is FOMC. So we're going to get Powell speaking and we're going to kind of see the reaction. Now, if the initial reaction is going to be negative, um, then I do think that it's because we're just trying to get price to take out these lows right here and that retracement to a reversal zone, right? Um, I would be really, really surprised if after, let's say, May, we didn't start seeing things shape up. I'd be really surprised. Like I said, when price moves this aggressively down, you can expect it to aggressively move back up. And that's what most people they call a V-shape reversal. For me, it's just a reversal, but whatever floats your boat. So that's what I'm thinking on Sol. That's what I'm thinking on the stock market. I'm trying to get some bags in stocks, in crypto. I'm trying to get some option leaps as well. Buy some contracts for Nvidia to be later on in the year. Because again, guys, if we think about a candlestick, right? If we anticipate the yearly candle to look something like this, right? Most of us should know that on a bullish candle, it opens, lows, highs, close, right? So I really think that we're in this portion of price right now. And like I said, to me, it's manipulation. And it's very smart. So to me, we're currently in here, and that's if you think about the yearly candle, right? This is that wick low. That's where you should want to get positioned, right? During the manipulation, the point where price is pushing lower in order to go higher. Um, but ultimately, there's no rush because even if you're not going to get an entry here, once you see all this get eaten back up, right, then it's going to be a little bit more obvious to some people, and then you can jump into your positions with a higher degree of confidence. And that's why I'm telling you guys right now, don't catch the knife. I don't even try catching the knife. There's no point in doing that. It's just gonna um, you're gonna waste capital and you're gonna burn through your mental drawdown, not even just your capital. So, like I said, I've seen it many, many times, and the students know this too. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Um, Once we finally get that last leg lower, and I can see a swing low form somewhere around here, then I'll be able to measure standard deviations higher to see just how high we go, right? And if I can do that on NQ and ES, I can do the same thing on Sol. So stay in tune. Don't don't take this as a time to go touch grass. Not the time to touch grass anymore. Time to touch grass was while Sol was fucking dumping this entire month. That was when you should be touching grass. Now it's time to actually start paying attention. And I really want everyone here, genuinely, I want every single person here to win. And I'm gonna do my part uh, to contribute consistently. And I don't mean that just by market updates, but I'm gonna give you guys um, the first 2 or 3 lectures of the mentorship just to give you something practical to use on the charts so that you don't even have to rely on me. Um, and obviously, the mentorship students are gonna get a lot more, but what I'll be giving you will be enough for you to be able to look at the chart and at least say to yourself, I think that this is bullish because, and actually have some form of logical answer that isn't just your intuitions or feelings after that. So those videos will be out soon. And yeah, I'm seriously looking forward to this bull run. Do not be scared. Stack your fucking bread. If you work a job, keep fucking working your job and get ready because you might be quitting soon. But only if you do things right. Do not miss this opportunity. Don't over leverage on the fucking meme coins right now. Don't risk all your soul because you are going to need it. You will kick yourself so hard when you see that things are pumping back up so ferociously, and there you are with 1 soul because you have -9 soul because you decided not to wait. So, with that being said, guys, we should know where we are. If you faded me the first time, here's your fucking shot. Don't fade me the second time. Because the first time was about saving you money. This second time is about making you money. So at least be there for that one. Um, and like I said, it's no bother to me if people in our group are pinging me for help. I like to help. I want to be able to contribute because we have all sorts of crazy fucking trenchers in here, crazy project launchers. Um, we have people with such unique skill sets here, and we're all here together. But that doesn't mean shit if no one's gonna contribute or we're gonna be gatekeeping or things like that, right? Which I don't really see as a problem here, but I just we need everyone to be fucking united for this. If you experienced what it was like before Trump launched this coin, you know what I'm talking about. You know that it's the easiest money you ever made. Um, and we'll be posting videos of that. I have a lot of live trench sessions with a lot of guys in here. And you if you weren't here for that, you'll be able to see that like literally you could toss 1 soul into a fucking pump fund shitter that just the website looked half decent, and you could at least say that's at least a 2x just because the site looks semi decent, no prior analysis required. And I'm talking about that. That's what I think is coming. um And yeah, we just have such fire people in here that know how to fucking cook. So it, we just need to save our ammo. You just need to wait. You just need to be patient. Just sit on your hands and wait. Don't try short. Don't try and long the bottom. You don't know where the bottom is unless you can pull out a I don't know, a stat pad of your bottom pickings and how good they are. It's not a good idea. But with that being said, guys, that's pretty much all I have. If there's any requests or any questions or anything like that, now's the time. Wow, no one's curious about any coins. Interesting. All right, well, like I said, one thing that I'm gonna ask from you guys, we also have the advantage of having a ridiculous amount of eyes in here. I know a lot of you guys are in a lot of different other groups. Some of you guys got monitors. Some of you guys are wallet tracking. Share that information. If you know of some good tickers that could be good, um, for when price starts to move back up, share them and say why. Don't be embarrassed to make a mistake or to take a loss. In the beginning of my meme coin career specifically, I remember just being afraid to share things, and the only way I got to make the connections that I got was to be brave enough to just say, you know what, this is what I think. If it's wrong, it's wrong. No one here is gonna fucking give you shit for losing money on a play. And if they do, clearly they're new because we lose money every fucking day. It's part of the game. So if you guys can post some of those tickers in Pulse or maybe Front Run, I can do my part. I can try and make a chart. If you guys are good wallet analysts, look to see if there's any good wallets in there. Like I said, find what you're good at and contribute to the group, because eventually you're going to find yourself in a position where you're either contributing through helping out the group or you're contributing through a membership cost. And I would prefer you guys not have to pay a membership and contribute that way, because it's a lot better when you actually contribute with information, because there's a lot of people in here that have really, really good connections, and don't be surprised if someone reaches out to you and says, hey, do you want to join this group? And then you make connections in that group, and then someone in that group invites you to another, you make connections. That's the whole point of this. We're utilizing each other's networks. We're utilizing each other's skills. It's the whole point of Swarms. It's why I tell a lot of you guys, it's not my group, it's our group. Um, and, I'm going to do my best as the group grows, as we get more attention, to make sure that everyone that helped build it gets a slice of the pie in one way or another, whether it be through early contract addresses, me doing soul giveaways, us rewarding the top scanners of the month or something like that. All of those things are coming. We know how to build incentives here. Um, but yeah, so like I said, nothing to be afraid about, guys. And if you faded me the first time, don't worry, because this is the really important one. But if there are no requests or no questions like that, then that's going to be it from you guys. All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to try and get these done probably every Sunday around this time. It seems like it's a pretty good time for you guys, considering we have a really good turnout here. There's a lot of people here. Um, so, again, you see me, I'm trying to contribute, right? Every single Sunday at this time, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do it live and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I think. And I'm going to run the risk of being wrong sometimes, right? But that's honestly what it takes. You just can't be afraid of that. It'll take a lot of opportunity away from you. But yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. Any questions, stuff like that, always feel free to ping me, and yeah, safe trading. No problem. Have a good day, guys.